What if the most glamorous novel in American history was actually a cry for help? Before we dive into the dark reality behind this masterpiece, hit that like button and subscribe to Literature Literally for your weekly dose of literary secrets. We all know Jay Gatsby as the ultimate symbol of the Roaring Twenties, the mysterious millionaire who threw extravagant parties just to catch the eye of a woman. But what if I told you the man who wrote this novel actually died penniless, forgotten, and convinced that he was a total failure? The glitz and the jazz were not just products of imagination. They were the exact ingredients that destroyed the author, F. Scott Fitzgerald. Behind the green light and the beautiful prose lies a true psychological horror story of addiction, mental illness, and a desperate race against poverty. To understand the tragedy of Gatsby, you first have to understand that F. Scott Fitzgerald was living it. Just like his protagonist, Fitzgerald was a middle-class man who fell desperately in love with a wealthy socialite named Zelda Sayre. Zelda initially rejected him because he didn't have enough money. Driven by a need to prove himself, he wrote his first novel and became a sensation. Suddenly, they were the golden couple of the Jazz Age. They jumped into fountains, drank until dawn, and spent money they didn't have. But this glamorous lifestyle was an illusion, and the cracks began to show almost immediately. When Fitzgerald wrote The Great Gatsby, he wasn't celebrating the wealthy, he was trying to warn us about them. He modeled Gatsby's hopeless romanticism after his own soul, and Daisy Buchanan's careless cruelty after the elite who looked down on him. When the novel was published, it received mixed reviews and sold poorly. Shortly after, the 1929 stock market crash brought the Roaring Twenties to a halt. As the world collapsed into the Great Depression, Fitzgerald's personal life imploded. Zelda suffered severe mental breakdowns and was diagnosed with schizophrenia. Fitzgerald spent the rest of his life churning out cheap short stories just to pay for her stays in various mental institutions. To cope with the stress and fading fame, his drinking habit spiraled into severe alcoholism. By the late 1930s, the Golden Boy was broken. He moved to Hollywood to work as a freelance screenwriter, a job he absolutely hated and considered a form of creative slavery. His books were out of print, and bookstore owners routinely laughed if anyone asked for a copy of The Great Gatsby. The final blow came when Fitzgerald was just 44. He suffered a massive, fatal heart attack while at home. His funeral was a grim echo of Jay Gatsby's burial. Scarcely any of his old friends showed up. Obituaries dismissed him as a washed-up alcoholic. He died believing his life's work was worthless. He never saw the novel sent to millions of soldiers in World War II, sparking a revival. When you read the book's lines about boats against the current, borne back into the past, you realize he was describing his own tragic struggle. What do you think is the most heartbreaking part of Fitzgerald's life? Let's discuss it in the comments below, and I will see you in the next video.